Now let's understand AND condition, that is AND function. Use the AND function to determine if all the conditions in the test are true. So I'll show you the syntax of AND function. So is equal to AND logic test 1, logic test 2, logic test 3. So there are multiple logical tests you can do, and all of them are true, then only that you'll get a true value. So let's see an example here. So if first logical test is true, second is true, third is true, you get the true answer. So that is, if all of them are true, you'll get a true, and your whatever the value for true is, you'll get the same. And in second scenario where you have first logical test true, second true, and third is false, so in that case you'll get a false. So false will win in the second scenario. So basically, AND condition, we have to be really precise what you want to test. So in the scenarios where you want to make sure that all these conditions are met, then only you want the true value. In that case, use AND. So if any of the condition fails, like in this logical test, third logic test failed in the second scenario, we got false. So let's look at OR function as well. Use OR function to determine if any of the condition in test are true. So syntax of OR function is equal to OR logical test 1, logical test 2, logical test 3. If logical test 1 is true, logical test 2 is false, logical test 3 is true, we'll be getting a true value. So true will win in this scenario. In second scenario, logical test 1 is true, logical test 2 is false, and logical test 3 is false. In this scenario also, since we got one true out of 3, true will win. In third scenario, logical test 1 is false, logical test 2 is false, and logical test 3 is false. In this scenario, we'll get false, and false will win. So if any of logical test, if one is true, true will win. If all of them are false and all of them are not true, in other words, false will win. So let's see AND and OR function along with if function with an Excel demo. So now let's understand AND function along with if function. AND function alone cannot be used that effectively. It has to be used with some other lookup function or logical function like if. So we'll try to write if function, actually a nested if function along with AND function. So here in this scenario, we have a budgeted spending and actual spending. Now in earlier scenario, we give them bonus whenever they have saved even a single dollar or penny and the actual spending was less than budget. We give them bonus immediately. But now the rules have changed. We need to give them bonus only when their savings, that is difference between budget and actual, as you can see here, is more than $30. So in this scenario, this particular case has $100 saving. So these two should get bonus, and including this. Others will not get bonus. They'll have a no bonus scenario. Even though they have saved money, they'll have no bonus. Why? Because their saving was not more than $30. And if somebody has spent more than the budget, they'll get penalty. So let's try to write this kind of nested if function. In this scenario, AND condition will be useful. So if actual is more than budget, we got penalty. Let's freeze that. And now if that is not the case, so if and what is our first logic? The first logic is that if the difference between budget and actual is more than $30, that is the one of the first condition for bonus, and your actual spending is less than budget. So those two are our two logic for AND. Those both have to be true to get a true value and get a bonus, F4. Otherwise, no bonus, F4. Let's close that, press enter, and let's drag it down. As you can see, first case we have a bonus. I forgot to lock this. Let's drag it down. So in first case we have a bonus because the saving is more than 30. Second case same, saving is 55, which is more than 30. In third case, there is no penalty but there is no bonus. Why? Because the saving difference is less than 30. In fourth case, yes, we have bonus because saving is more than 30. In fifth case, we got penalty. Why? Because spending is more than the budget. In fourth case, there is no bonus. Why? Because there is a saving but it is less than 30. In fourth case, there is a penalty because there is a $100 negative spending. So this way you can write AND function to have a all condition to be met, and then you can reward or have a true value. Next we're gonna see OR function along with if function. As we've seen in the demo, OR function test condition one by one. If any of them is true, it gets the true value. So it gives the answer for any true value. So for our condition to fail and to get false, all the tests should be false. So in this particular scenario, we have three kind of tests for these five people: Sally, Tim, Matt, and Stuart, and they got these scores. And now we need to get at least A, and we have to test that condition. Whenever somebody has scored more than 90 in any of these tests, we get to give them A as a rating. So you have to give yes or no actually. So let's try to write this function. So if or test 1 for Sally is score is more than 90, let's freeze that. Second logic would be test 2 score, is it more than 90? And third logical test would be test score 3 more than 90. If any of them is true, we'll get yes, otherwise no. Press enter. So in case of Sally, we have 91 scored in test 2. Let's drag it down. In case of Tim, no, none of the scores of the test is 90 or above, more than 90. In third scenario for Matt, case is same, none of the score is more than 90. But in case of Stuart, all of them are 90. So we only needed one, but we got all three true. So in any way it will be true. So that is yes. So this way in OR function along with if function, or test all conditions in all scenarios, and if any of them is true, it gives you the true value, which is yes in this case. Otherwise it will give you no. So this way you can use if function, nested if function, and make it more powerful and more programmatic by using AND and OR function along with if function. Now we'll go through some limitations and caution you need to be aware of while using if and nested if statements. It can get too much complex if you're going to use so many nested if functions. So I'll give you some tips and some warnings that you need to consider while working with if statements.